Ladies and gentlemen, the real owner of the title, About 6, has arrived, and today we're going to be talking about Gyutaro and everything you need to know about this character. We're going to be including his personality, his powers, his past. When I say everything, I really do mean it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Due to the hard life he lived in near constant poverty and the harsh tragedies he experienced as a human, Gyutaro portrayed himself to be cruel, petty, and envious of anyone blessed with a better life than him, leading to him developing a habit of sarcastically complimenting a person's best traits and then trying to vindictively kill them afterwards, just like he did to Tengen. Because of these hardships he faced as a human, Gyutaro eventually developed a personal belief that to take from those who have a better life than he had as a human is justified. A habit he seems to have is the penchant to inflict harm to himself when he is angry, frustrated, or jealous, as seen when he scratched himself hard enough to tear down wounds into his own flesh when he grew, as his jealousy towards Tengen grew. Having lived over 100 years and battled many demon slayers in Hachira, Gyutaro has become somewhat arrogant and prideful in combat, developing the habit of underestimating his opponents and looking down on them as beneath him, as he did with the team of demon slayers dispatched to kill him by having his sister fight and deal with them first rather than, himself fighting them. Despite his negative traits, Gyutaro does possess a genuine strong love for his younger sister Taki, having raised her himself due to his mother's mental instability. This familial love was so strong that despite becoming a demon and nearly forgetting his life as a human, he still retains a considerable attachment to her. Due to this, he has developed a tendency to occasionally spoil and allow her to do whatever she pleases, even if her actions go against his best interests. However, his love for her does not stop him from screaming and insulting her out of frustration. When he first exposed himself and we saw him in the story, he tenderly attended to his sister's cries and injuries, both praising her efforts while insulting her lack of intelligence. Upon his death and his final thoughts, Gyutaro is shown to possess no regrets on the choices he made throughout his life, especially his choice of willingly becoming a demon and subsequent action of killing and eating hundreds of people for hundreds of years, showing how misanthropic and bitter he had become due to his terrible and harsh circumstances as a human. However, he later states his only true regret he holds in his life is his sister Ume, which by the way is the real name of Taki, showing that deep down Gyutaro regrets that his negative influence through how he raised her was the cause for her growth into a selfish person. During his final moments, Gyutaro wonders if she could have experienced many other wonderful things and lived many different lives without having to walk on the path of becoming a demon if he wasn't in her life. He genuinely wishes that she was born and raised by someone other than himself, completely shouldering the blame for all her deplorable actions and showing just how much he truly loves and cares for his sister. Later, even in death, Gyutaro is shown to have Daki's best interest at heart by telling her to go to the opposite direction where the light was better, showing that he wished Daki would have a fresh start to a new life without him being a bad influence on her. Past. Gyutaro was born into poverty within the lowest class of the entertainment district. His mother would often beat and try to kill him even before he was born due to presumed attempted miscarriage since she could not afford to feed him. But her efforts were proven to be in vain when she died of syphilis. Throughout his childhood, he was berated for his appearance, voice, and poor hygiene from the other residents of the district. When his sister Ume was born, he gained a sense of pride and acted as her quote-unquote collector within the district. When he turned 13, he returned home from work to discover one day his sister tied up and burned to near death and left to die in a ditch because she poked a samurai's eye out with a hairpin. The young Gyutaro jumped into the ditch and began to panic, tearfully demanded that his sister be turned back to normal while he cradled her body. As he embraces his dying sister, the same samurai whose eye was poked out sneaks up behind Gyutaro and slashes his back in an attempt to kill him. He then overheard the samurai speaking to the brothel manager, who is revealed to be the one who asked the samurai to also have Gyutaro killed. However, before the samurai is able to finish him off, he manages to jump out of the ditch and kill both the manager and the samurai with his sickle. Despite being injured, Gyutaro carries his sister Ume's dying body throughout the Hanamachi district in search of help, but was ultimately denied aid no matter where he went. He eventually succumbed to exhaustion, both he and Ume being on the verge of death. Before the end, they then run into the then Upper Rank 6 Doma, who was searching the entertainment district to to devour the young women of the area. He then offered to quote-unquote help them by turning them into demons due to him being a nice guy, and gave them a few drops of his blood to initiate their transformation. He then cleverly challenged them to become powerful enough to be chosen by that man, and of course that man is Muzan, and join the 12 Kisuki themselves. Demon life. As a demon, he and his sister Ume, who now goes by the name Daki, continued to reside in the entertainment district and continued to terrorize and feast on its inhabitants, with the siblings seemingly developing a taste of only eating from the district's finest and most beautiful kiesha and oiran of the district. After an unknown number of years, the siblings were eventually noticed and acknowledged by Muzan and given the rank of upper rank 6 of the 12 Kisuki that they then shared between themselves. Somewhere along his life as a demon, Gyutaro successfully killed an at least 13 Hashira of the Demon Slayer corpse, while his sister killed an A7. Let us next talk about his overall abilities. As the true upper rank 6, Gyutaro is an incredibly powerful demon with over a century worth of combat experience under his belt, making him an extremely deadly individual, having killed 15 Hashiras in the past. Of course, we know the Hashiras are the strongest and most killed demon slayers in the Demon Slayer corps. His immense skills and abilities were evident as he possessed the means to easily fight both Tenken, the Sound Hashira of the Demon Slayer corps, and Tanjiro, a very talented demon slayer who, at the time has fought lowering demons in the past. And as we know, Gyutaro eventually overwhelmed them both in battle. Even when the battle turned in the favor of the demon slayers, Gyutaro and Taki quickly managed to take control of the situation and overwhelm them. Another testament to his power is the fact that despite being killed in battle, Gyutaro was still capable of severely injuring and maiming Tengen, Tanjiro, and Inosuke, and would have likely killed them if it wasn't for Nezuko's own unique blood demon art, and if not for his own arrogance getting the better of him. He would have likely won and killed them all himself, as Muzan later stated. Even as a child with no combat training, Gyutaro managed to defeat an adult swordsman by himself. His core detachment is a ability that Gyutaro possesses to completely detach his core from his own body, with it seemingly taking the form of his right eye that he then implants into his sister Daki's forehead. And because of that, he then enhances and strengthens his sister Daki's abilities and powers. Through this, Gyutaro also then develops a psychic connection with her and allows him to see, hear, and sense everything she does, and even possesses and takes control of her body in order to better coordinate their attacks. Additionally, through detaching his core from his body, Gyutaro is immune to decapitation by nature and swords. This effectively ensures that both he and his sister cannot be killed unless both of their heads are cut off at the same time. Through his psychic connections with Daki, Gyutaro can sense everything around her and coordinate their attacks. This was shown when Gyutaro acted on the information given to him on pure instincts and maneuvered both his and her attacks and actions perfectly while in battle, as seen during their battle against Tengen and Tanjiro, where he perfectly coordinated his attacks with Daki's to both launch several simultaneous assaults on all 4 opponents, despite the both of them fighting in separate locations and facing 2 entirely different pairs of opponents, by manipulating his sister's actions and controlling her slashes to strike at the same time with his blood slashes in order to create powerful surprise attack combos. Just like all demons, Gyutaro possesses the ability to manipulate his own flesh to a certain extent. He mainly uses this ability to shape his flesh into an extremely sharp kama which he can control telekinetically. This was also evident as Gyutaro could merge his body with Daki's and later managed to encroach and infect the source of Tenken and Tanjiro in order to prevent them from pulling out their blades effectively. Gyutaro possesses an incredible durable body. This was shown when Tenken and Tanjiro both used their Nichiren swords to attack Gyotaro's kama, but of course to no avail, as they couldn't even slice through it. When Tanjiro landed a surprise attack on Gyotaro's neck, his blade failed to make a dent. Tanjiro only managed to lop off Gyotaro's head when he summoned 100 times the strength in his body, awakening his Demon Slayer mark in the process. Let us next talk about his blood demon art. Gyotaro's blood demon art allows him to manipulate his own body's blood in various ways. He is shown multiple times to generate them from his flesh kama or from open wounds on his body. It is implied that Gyutaro doesn't run out of blood due to his, of course, being a demon and his regenerative abilities, giving him a virtually infinite source of blood to fuel his blood demon art. Gyutaro is capable of freely manipulating these blood slashes at will, altering their movements until they hit his opponents or shaping them to however he he pleases. In combat, he usually creates barrages of solidified sickle-shaped but as sharp as blades that can travel at immensely fast speeds to attack his opponents. Gyutaro can use his Blood Demon art tactically to create inescapable attacks that can overwhelm the likes of Tengen and hold off the combined efforts of Tenjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. Moreover, Gyutaro's blood slashes appear to be extremely deadly, as Inosuke noted that a single scratch from them would be enough to kill him. The blood he manipulates is shown to be quite durable as well, since Tenjiro deduced that his sword would shatter if he took the techniques head on without deflecting it. Furthermore, Gyutaro can create a shield of blood in the form of a dome, which he used to protect himself from a barrage of kunai, further exemplifying its immense durability. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, as I really wanted to make a fully in-depth guide of this character. You know, Gyutaro is such a very well-written character, especially when it comes to his past and his connection with Daki, and I really enjoyed talking about him today. And the goal for me to make this video was to tell you guys everything you need to know about this character, and hopefully I have done just that. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've made it this far, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as I do all types of Demon Slayer content on the channel. That being said, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.